Okay, we started likutei Gimel. Likutei Gimel. We'll do a little synopsis. We'll get over the Maisa of Rava Bar Chana. We'll repeat that. Amar Rava Bar Chana Ledi Chazeli Au Akrukso Davel Tiakra de Agroni. Rava Bar Chana said, "You know what happened to me? I saw this frog that was the size of the town of Agronia." So the Gemara says, "Vaka de Agronia kama have." The Gemara says, well, how big was the town of Agronia? So the Gemara answers, Shitin Bati, 60 houses. Atat Tanina Bal, came a snake and swallowed it. In other words, you had a frog who was as large as a town of 60 houses. There are probably bigger frogs somewhere else, but that's pretty big. What? Okay, he didn't say. Insect, yeah. Came, leave me alone. All right. Came a snake and swallowed it. Okay, the snake is pretty big to be able to swallow such a. Asa Pushkansa, came female crow, ubao latanina, and it swallowed the snake. V'salek v'yotiv b'ilana, and then it flew off and sat on the limb of a tree. Come and imagine to yourself how strong this tree must have been, right? A tree, yeah, that can carry a female crow that is big enough to swallow a snake, that is big enough to swallow a frog the size of a town of 60 houses. That's big. Okay. So Rashbam says Akruksa Tzfardea. Akruksa is Aramaic for Tzfardea. Kakra de Agronia, Godel Oisek Rach. It was as big as that particular town. V'akra de Agronia Kamaha V'shiten Bati. That particular slice, Talmuda Kamal. That's what the Gemara says. In other words, Rashbam is telling you that the Gemara interjects here in the middle of the story of Rava Bar Chana to let you know how big that particular town was. Asatanina, Rabba Kamarla. Says we're going back to Rava Bar Chana. That's back to the original text. Says Rabbeinu Nekine Mishomer Neginov Negen Rosho Kosher Avodas Habayir. Anybody who hears Neginov Negen Rosho is very difficult to avoid Hashem. But when a person hears a singing of a minagin kosher v'hogun, as toivlik, because it's very good for him, as we said. And you brought the Mea Nachal that says that minagin she'ein hogun is somebody who is singing for pride and for money, right? And we explained, the last time that we learned, we explained that art, specifically music, which is a permissible art, is a direct conduit to Ruchnius. It connects it to Ruchnius without the need of Kalim. In other words, you don't need to be a tzaddik, you don't need to be anything to be connected to Ruchnius immediately. That's why people have such bittul, the Goyim have such bittul to art. Because when they stand before it, they're connected to Ruchnius immediately. They don't have to do anything. They can be Nazis. In fact, Hermann Goering was a huge art collector. He was a besser mensch, And
he was a what?
He was a refined human being.
You call him a Breslov mensch.
Oh, besser. Besser means better. He was a refined human being. He was like the
Nightingale tongues.
Yeah, the biggest thug in the Third Reich is Hermann Goering. He has 2 grandchildren that both of them themselves. Neutered. They castrated themselves so that she will never give birth to any children, both of them. They said that's it. The lineage of Goering will not go on. That's it. It stops with them. It's the only way that they could possibly deal with their enormity of.
They could have just done another surgery like that, but
What?
There's an article in there. I read the other day. I'm on Gert. You know I'm on Gert?
Oh yeah.
His granddaughter, or great granddaughter now, is a black girl.
What?
She's black.
Oh, she is.
She's black. She's half black, half white. And there's a whole article about how she realizes that if she was standing in front of her grandfather, he would have shot her.
His daughter didn't know anything about him until she saw Schindler's List.
Right.
This is the first time she realized who his father really was. Because her mother told her, that your father was, the camp, and he took care of them.
How he took care of them.
Yeah, he took care of them.
So he took pot shots care of them.
And she said, did he kill anybody? He says, well, maybe. You. She said she saw the movie. She said she was so angry at Spielberg for telling her the truth. You can see the pictures. By the way, in YouTube, there's the original footage of him being hung. Of Amon Goth being hung.
He got hung in the same. I went there. I visited it where he was hung.
There's a movie of it of this guy being hung, and you see the pictures of who he was, and the actor that played him, Mamish looked like him. She said the minute she saw him on the screen, she realized this is it. This is her father. And animals. Anyhow, but Kitsu, they're art lovers. They're art lovers, and all the bigwig meetings or whatever it is of Nazi Germany, you always had a little quartet in the corner murmuring Mozart, in
the atheists are all like music lovers.
I don't know all the atheists, but whatever it is, it's art is cheap ruchnius. It does not require any kalim. Now, when we're talking about painting, we're talking about sculpting, we're talking about forms of art which are not fit for human consumption, on a high level, because they connect tremendously high ruchnias and bring it down to total gashmius. There's a statue or there's a painting. It's gashmius should be gashmius. So that's the reason why it is forbidden to do them. Nevertheless, we said already in Kodesh HaKodeshim, there were both paintings and sculptures in Kodesh HaKodeshim. The walls were with murals, and the Medrash says that's the reason why Kodesh Baruch Hu put his Shechina there. And the sculptures were the Kruvim.
Cold.
You're cold.
Are you cold?
I'm not cold. I'm not cold.
Huh?
If you go ahead, I mean,
I can either close it or move.
What?
It moves.
Oh, that'll move. Okay, so we have a few more minutes. We're done anyhow. The Kruvim were sculptures, were golden sculptures, and the broadcast of the Nevuah came from between the two Kruvim. So the transmission of spirituality through art is extremely real. The only form of art which is allowed is one that is sculpted and painted on the media of time, which is music. There's no gashmis to music. Music itself, as you'll see later on in the Torah, is made of two different levels. There is one level which is the level of the kol, which is the sound. The sound itself is produced in the neck, which has 6 rings. The pipe, the air pipe, has 6 rings which are open in the back. They're closed in the front and they're open in the back towards where the spine is. You have the 6 rings of the neck. This is where the sound is produced. And then the sound comes through onto the mouth, and it is formed into words, and sentences, and chulu, chulu, chulu. And it starts with, the throat, and then it goes into the cavity of the mouth, and the tongue, and the teeth, and the lips. Then it goes out. These are the 5 tools of the dibur. Okay? That's why when you're saying the gilui, the dibur is the gilui from the hidden to the exposed. So you have the word aleph, right? It has 3 letters. The first letter is aleph. Which part pronounces the a?
Yeah.
The throat. A. That's the sound of the throat. Then comes the lamed. Which part is the lamed?
Tongue.
The tongue. And the last is
Lips.
the lips. In other words, the throat, the tongue, and the lips. Inside, middle, and out. This is the expression of the dibur. It starts with an aleph. When we're talking about a revelation from beyond, from Olam HaKesed to come down, we call it Pele. Right? It's the same letters. Except you start with the lips, and then you go to the tongue, and then you go to the throat. It's the other way.
Repeat that again. Pella is reversed.
The first letter is with the outside.
But you said when it comes from Olam.
When you come to reveal the inside, the godly source of the evident Metzias, you start with the outside and you go in.
Like Moshe was the same. Moshe. Yeah. Moshe was the same as Pele.
No, not really.
Outside, tongue, throat. Moshe.
No. No, but both M and Mem and Shin are the lips.
Shin is your teeth. Shin.
Maybe.
So you're saying when you're coming to reveal something from the inside to the out,
It's
the
Pchinas
same.
Aleph. It's Keseder. Now what happens is that the level of the call is a higher level than the level of the dibur. The
So
level
like
of
a
the dibur is more articulated, but the level of the call is still undifferentiated.
So you can take out any form that the person
Yes,
wants, right?
not only this, but when you are speaking, first of all comes the call, and then comes the dibur. In your mind, you already know what it is that you want to say, because you're saying it already. So in your mind, you know already what the words are. Now, the call is undifferentiated. The call comes through the 6 rings of the neck. This corresponds to the 6 sefirot of Zer Anpi, of the Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. This is where the voice comes, and the dibur itself is Malchus. So you have Keneged, the Netzach v'Hod, you have Za and Malchus. Kabbalistically, this particular Torah is one of the shortest and in a way most complex in Likutei Moharan, because we like to have when we say any kind of Kabbalistic um, um, determinations in language, so we want things to be, Malchus is Dibur, is Levush, is, that it's clear. All across the board it's clear. But Kabbalah is not as simple as all that. In many different ways, the context of the Kosov changes what is, because over here, Beklolius, when we're talking about the Partzufim, we're talking about the Kol and Dibor, is Netzach, is Zeranpim and Malchus, the tools of bringing out the inside. Your thought, the words that you want to say are the Moichin. The Kol is the Zeranpin, the 6 spheres from Chesed to the Yesod. And it goes to the Malchus, the 5 tools of the Dibur, and it's articulated. When the Rebbe speaks over here, talking about the beginning of the Moichin of the Malchus as Netzach Vehod. Netzach Vehod, Keviyachol, are 2 parts of the Zal, of the Zeranpin. But nevertheless, over here, they are parallel to Zeranpin and Malchus. Why? Because of the way, the place where they are. We're not going to, to explain why this is so and this is so. Mainly, A, because I don't have a clue why. B, everything that I'm saying, I'm just bringing from other books. I'm not, I don't. And B, it's not our place to get into these things. So basically, only that which is negea to us, we will learn B'ezrat Hashem, and we'll continue tomorrow.